So this is probably my seventh time recording this. Hello, I'm Isabel Pacey, and this is Collective Sound.
Hey, let's talk.
So that lovely, lovely intro was made by my sweet, sweet friends Sam Lou and Will Hunter. So thank you, boys, for diving into this project with me and just like really having some fun with it. So you guys should go listen to their music. They both have projects that they work on. Sam does a project called Saturday. Will's in a band called Pacific. They're so talented. Love them. Shout out to my boys. But thank you for the intro. Anyway, this is episode 1 of Collective Sound. And yes, I have recorded this, I think, 7 times. I'm always never satisfied with it. So here we are. Episode 1 is a really intimidating episode because, if it's not good, people are going to listen to one episode, and if it's not good and they don't like it, they're never going to listen again. So we're really going to tackle this thing. And I think this is going to be the last time. I'm just going to go with this take. We're going to take it. We're going to run with it. Anyway, this is Collective Sound. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for coming kind of along this journey with me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even really have this idea fully ironed out, so this is just going to be an adventure for all of us. So Collective Sound is a project that I've had in mind for a while. I moved to Nashville 4 years ago, and after living here for a bit, I moved into a house, and we have a detached garage in our backyard that we don't use for anything, and it doesn't lock, so we don't even use it for storage. So it kind of just sat there, and it's it's a little funky. I really love it. And so after I moved here, my friends and I were like, dang, that would be so sick to make a performance space or something like that. So we built out this huge idea of converting it to make it kind of look like that 70s show vibe, and have artists come in and do acoustic sets, or have house shows and interview people and talk to people what they're passionate about. This is huge idea and super sick, and I've been really passionate about it for a long time, but it never happened. I procrastinated it for so long. And so eventually, 3 years later, about a month ago, it's come up a couple times, and a month ago I was like, I should really do that. I'm done with procrastinating. I need a project to work on that's just mine. I need to, really full force do this. And so I started buying furniture. I bought this really sick chair, a cool carpet. We found a lamp on the side of the street. And then right as I was in the middle of building it out, we decided to move. So we're moving in about a month. And so I didn't want to build this whole thing and invest so much time into it to then have to leave it, which would break my heart. We call our house the Radish, and we're leaving in a month, and I'm so sad. So this is a public declaration to the Radish that I'm in love with you, and I will always love you with my whole heart. Anyway, thank you for letting me have that moment. So after I kind of laid the garage idea to rest, I kind of thought of converting it into a podcast. So here we are, making a podcast. So what is Collective Sound, you ask? Great question. I don't really exactly know, so we're going to come on this journey together, but my kind of idea for it is I want to make a community, platform, space, whatever you want to call it, for creatives and artists and, anyone really, to talk about their love for music, talk about their experience in music and art and being a fan of music and kind of just all those types of topics. And so I really wanted that space. I would love that space to listen to and kind of a community to be involved in. So I said, why not just make it myself? So here we are doing it. So this is definitely going to probably change a lot as we go. But if you know me, you know I love growth. So let's bring it on. So this is going to be my intro episode. I have a couple like crazy stories to tell when I used to be a crazy fangirl that I have planned, a couple guests I have planned that I want to bring on to talk about, what they do, who they love, musician wise, stuff like that. So thanks for coming along with this journey and listening. I guess I'll give a little background information on me if you don't know me. My name's Isabel Pacey, and I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm from a moderately sizable family, I guess you could say. Growing up, it didn't seem big to me, but when I moved, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're from the biggest family. So I have 4 siblings who I love all dearly. Shout out to you guys. And my parents, so lovely. So I grew up in Milwaukee, and my siblings are a lot older than me, so at a pretty young age, they introduced me to a lot of really cool things, one of those being music. I like, the first memory I have of them, like, showing me music, first of all, we were, like, I wouldn't say a super musical family. I mean, we really like music. Like, my mom loves Van Morrison, so, like, my earliest memories are just, like, me in the kitchen listening to Van Morrison, which, like, what incredible, so good. But another really early memory I have is like one of my siblings picking me up from school or like hockey practice or something like that, and all we would listen to in the car was Bon Iver, and it was like his first album, For Emma Forever Ago. I was maybe like 11, so this is like 2000, what year was I don't know, 2008 or something. And so got me super into Bon Iver at a young age, who still to this day is my favorite artist of all time. And it kind of just went from there. My brother's super into shows, so he kind of, introed me into that world, and I'm really grateful for them for showing me that. But once I hit middle school, I really, like, full force dived in. I wonder what my first album I bought was. I have a specific memory of buying Kesha's first album on iTunes, but I don't know what my first physical album is. That's a good thing I'll have to dive into. My first ever concert was Sarah Bareilles at the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. I don't remember what year it was. Probably like 2006 maybe? I should look this up. Oh my gosh, I lied. My first ever show was the High School Musical concert on January 9th, 2007. I remember it so vividly. My mom got me and my best friend tickets for our birthday. So me, my best friend, her sister, and both of our moms, we all went, and I kid you not, I think we were in the second last row. Like, the stage was the size of, like, my thumb, and I could probably touch the ceiling of, like, the arena. Or not arena, it was probably arena. Those were the days. Anyway, so got super into music in middle school, and as your average, now 22-year-olds, I became obsessed with One Direction. So I found them when they were on the X Factor, and just, full sent. I had a Twitter account, I had a Tumblr account that had like hundreds of thousands of followers. Like, I dove in, I was so invested in One Direction, in the fandom, and everything that happened. And like, boy, if you were not part of that fandom, the craziest things happen, which I really want to do. It might have to be multiple episodes, but I want to do at least an episode just dedicated to the One Direction fandom, because like, they did wild things, and I just want to dive into it because A, I forget most of what happened, and B, it's just wild. Like, a little nugget I'll give you: one time One Direction fans hacked into an airport security camera so they could like see the boys at the airport, which, yes, so creepy, and I do not recommend or support, but that is wild. Like, their fans were unstoppable, and I love that, and I'm so proud of that. And like, what powerful girls, who are still so powerful to this day. But I dove really into that fandom, into that world, and then it just, escalated from there. I went through a lot of phases, different bands. I'm not going to expose myself today on all of them, so you'll have to stay tuned. I have some wild stories to tell. But yeah, so I got super into music, and then in high school, I remember at a One Direction show, I was in the crowd, and I just literally was overjoyed. Like, I've never felt like joy and happiness like that. I was just like on top of the world. And I remember looking over to my friend and just saying, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I want to feel this for the rest of my life. And in high school, in like the prime of my fangirl days, there were a lot of like managers or radio like station hosts and different people that work in the industry that pulled strings for me to get me tickets or to let me meet an artist and stuff like that. And it meant so much to me at the time. And I was always just like, I want to be able to do that for someone. Like, I want to be able to be that person for someone. So I really loved that. And then I really love I'm someone who's like, I'm a big lyric girl. Like, I love lyrics. I love the stories behind songs, behind albums, behind visuals. Like, I get so invested in that. And so somehow all of those things combined like my junior year, and I just declared, I was like, I'm gonna be the next Ryan Seacrest. So if you know me from home, you probably know that about me, which is a little embarrassing, but also like I love it. Like, I'll embrace it. But yeah, so everyone in high school knew me as, the girl who wanted to be the next Ryan Seacrest. So I graduated high school, and then I moved to Nashville and went to Belmont University, where I studied journalism and music business. And so throughout college, I dabbled in a lot of different things, did a couple different types of internships, got super passionate about photography, videography. I go to like quadruple the amount of shows I used to go to. A lot of my fans, who do I think I am? A lot of my friends do music, so they've been really great and kind of let me be a part of that music making process, which has been super cool. So yeah, I've just really loved it. And so I graduated from Belmont, and now I work in digital marketing, which is so fun. And yeah, that's just like a little about me. And I think another thing is there's kind of a weird stereotype, I would say. I don't think it's true, but there's a stereotype and kind of I don't really know what word I'm looking for here, but I felt it a lot when I was like in my crazy fangirl days. And like, yes, I was pretty crazy and did a lot of things that honestly a little embarrassed about now, but it got me where I am today. Like, I do not think I would be where I am today if I wasn't that person and did those things. Also, dare I say it, a lot of what I know, of really, not all, learned a lot from school, my college degree, but a lot of what I know about the music industry, I literally learned from being a giant One Direction fan and like going to a lot of shows. And because, I wanted in, like, I wanted to know everything that was going on and wanted to meet artists. And so in order to do that, I had to like learn how managers work and learn how radio stations work and stuff like that. So that taught me a lot, which was super cool. But there's like a stereotype in the inner culture, I would say, that sometimes will kind of not degrade, I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but kind of boil girls who really like music, who are young, like in their, teens and in their 20s, who really like music. They just kind of boil them down to like, oh, you're just a crazy fan who like likes to look at hot boys, which, like, okay, what girl doesn't like to? But like, I think there's so much more to that. And I think like young girls who are passionate about music are so powerful, and I like will scream that from the rooftops, and I'm just so passionate about that. And so I want to like give girls like a voice and like show people that like, no, like, yeah, you could be a crazy fangirl and really into music, but also that teaches you a lot. And you don't do it because you're crazy and like to look at hot boys. You do it because you really like something and you're really passionate about it, and it makes you feel things. So I just kind of want to break that down, kind of talk about that here among many other topics. I have some crazy stories. I think the first one I will tell is the time I went viral because I met Ed Sheeran in a ketchup costume. I'm not going to say anything else, but you'll have to stay tuned because that episode's pretty wild. But yeah, I have a lot more. I could tell the story of the time John Bellion gave me his shoes, or one time I accidentally outed the fact that Luke Hemmings and his girlfriend at the time were dating, which, like, that one, I still feel guilty about it. And like, it was so an accident and honestly like not really my fault, but maybe I'll tell that story. So just like, let me know what you want to hear. Also, this is called Collective Sound for a reason. I really want this to be like a collective project, a collective space. So if you have something you want to come on and talk about, let me know. If you have a story to tell, let me know. If you do music and want me to plug you, like, sure, let me know. Why not? So So yeah, I'm just really excited for this and whatever it will turn into. So thank you for tuning in. More info. I should probably do like the, rate me on Apple Podcast. I don't know how any of this works, but if you want to like keep in touch and like know what's going on with this and everything, I made an Instagram account for the podcast, so it's collective period sound on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. If you don't know me, which if you are listening to this and you don't know me, that's incredible. I'm not saying that because I'm like big and popular. I'm saying that because like I can't believe people out there are gonna listen to this that aren't like my mom. So if you don't know me, like slide in those DMs and like introduce yourself, because I like am a queen of questions, and my friend calls me Curious George because I'm just so curious. And so like slide in my DMs and honestly just say hey, and I'll probably like bombard you with a lot of questions. So yeah, that was kind of a short episode, but I want to keep them short and sweet, and that's a little about what this is going to be. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening. I'm probably in love with you, so here's me declaring that, and I'll see you guys. Won't see you. I'll talk to you guys on the next episode. Thanks so much. Bye.